Today, I'm going to show you how to construct your personal sleeve pattern. Hi, I'm John and I'm here to share my knowledge and help you create your own personal patterns so you can experience the feeling of clothes that fits. This sleeve pattern is an option or addition to the dress pattern if you would like to have a dress with sleeves. This sleeve pattern is based on your size chart with your measurements and calculations that I went through in my previous videos. Check out these videos and download the size chart for free. But first, let me demonstrate how you measure the armhole height and the armhole width on the dress pattern. On the dress pattern, you measure the armhole height from 12 to 27A, and you add that to the measurement on the back piece from this horizontal line up to 19A, like I marked here. And then to measure the armhole width, you take your measuring tape and measure from the sideline up to 27A. And you add that to the measurement of the armhole on the back piece. Remember to jump over the armhole incision and again up to 19A. You add these two measures and put them down on your size chart. This sleeve pattern is constructed in one piece and based on the dress pattern. Your measurements and calculations from the size chart that you have downloaded for free. You will need a big piece of cardboard, like you see here, about 65 times 100 centimeter, a big ruler, a triangle, a curved ruler, and a sharp pencil to create this basic dress sleeve pattern. The basic pattern form is built in a numerical order, starting from 1 and upwards. We are starting by drawing a long vertical line on the left side of the cardboard. On top, we mark number 1. From 1 to 2, you measure 2/10 of the armhole width that I just showed you how to measure on the dress pattern, plus half a centimeter to 1 centimeter down. From 1 to 3, you mark half the measure of the armhole height, like I just showed you how to do. And from 2 to 4, here at the bottom, you measure the sleeve length down. From 4, you go 2 to 3 centimeter back up and mark this as number 5. This is for the angle of the sleeve hem. From 3 down, you mark the elbow height, which is half the length from 3 to 5, minus 1 centimeter. So you measure that from number 3 and mark it as 6. from 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you draw perpendicular horizontal lines to the right. From 3 and up, you measure 1/4 of the armhole width, which is the sleeve insertion point, called SI on the illustration. From SI, take half of the armhole width minus half a centimeter and mark it on the horizontal line from 2. So this is number 7. So I marked it as with the guideline here. You don't need to use that for other things than that. To control that the measurement from 2 to 7 is correct, compare it to the arm width plus 5 to 6 centimeters in extra width. Is it within those parameters? You should be fine. Next, you draw a vertically line down from number 7 until the elbow line, and you have the sleeve frame. Mark 0.8 opposite 0.3 and 0.9 opposite 0.6. Take half of the width from 2 to 7 plus 1 centimeter and mark it from 2, number 10. Divide the distance from 2 to 10 and mark it as 11. Divide the distance from 8 to 3 plus 1 centimeter from 8, and this is 0.12. From 0.7 and down, you measure a quarter arm width plus half a centimeter. Mark this as 13. Now you have to connect the sleeve insertion point here with 11. Divide this into half and mark it as 14. Connect 14 to 10 and 10 to 13. From 13, you mark half a centimeter in towards 10. From this new point, you draw a guideline to 0.12. From the line between 3 and 8, draw a parallel guideline, half a centimeter up for the underarm seam. Now measure 1.5 centimeters from 0.6 and mark it 15. And again from number 5 and mark it 16. Connect SI with 15 down to 16. On the elbow line, measure 1 centimeter in from point 9 and mark it 17. Draw a line from 17 up to 13. From point 16, measure half of the hand width down to the horizontal line from point 4, and this is 18. Connect point 17 with 18. To draw the sleeve dome, measure 1.2 centimeter out between 10 and 14. Between 10 and 13, measure 1 centimeter out. Use the curved ruler to draw the dome. As shown here in the illustration. To mark the underarm seam on the sleeve pattern, you need to take the measure on the dress pattern from the sleeve insertion point on the front armhole to the side seam and transfer this measure to the sleeve pattern. So on the armhole, on the front piece, you measure from SI down to the side and put the same measure here. This is to become the underarm seam. So you mark the measure here on the lower curve from SI and draw a parallel line to the line that runs from SI over 15 to 16. So you draw a parallel line with the same width all the way down. And on the back piece, you take the same measure on the dress pattern from the side seam and up to the sleeve insertion point. Transfer and mark that measure plus 1 centimeter. From here, you mark that measure up here. Next step is to copy the pattern onto transparent pattern paper, where you draw the complete pattern by mirroring the transparent paper on the side seam on each side of the sleeve pattern. I will demonstrate shortly. So here you have the complete pattern shown folded. Let me show you how to unfold it from here, where you kind of mirror these two parts out. So I have the basic block here already drawn. And to draw the complete pattern, you mirror it like this. down to the underarm seam. Remember the horizontal guidelines. You draw it down to the elbow line, where we will move the incision up to the elbow. So one half is done, and then you move the other half of the incision like that. Draw the smaller elbow incision here. And just leave him down here. That was one side. Then you move to the other side of the basic block and put it next to the side here. And again, move the pattern like this. There will be a small overlap here at the elbow that we can compensate for at the bottom. Then you turn it over again, and voila, you have a complete pattern. You adjust the hemline. First you measure the side seam. To see if they are equal. Remember to jump over the elbow incision. And then you adjust either by adding the missing measure down here, or taking it out here, or here at the incision. I think I will, it's only a few millimeters, so I will take it out here. Then you can even out the hemline like this. And you have a sleeve pattern. Before cutting it out, be sure to measure the dome of the sleeve pattern and compare it to the armhole width on the dress that you measured. The sleeve should not be more than 2.5 centimeter wider than the armhole. The bigger difference, the harder it will be to fit in the sleeve to the armhole. You will have to adjust the pattern in some of the extra added width measures. Add seam allowances, cut it out and sew a fitting model in cheap cotton fabric. Before sewing it, mark the horizontal guidelines on the fabric. It will make it easier to see if the sleeve is balanced and where to make the adjustment needed. Remember to transfer all the adjustments back to the basic pattern. But apart from that, you should always keep the basic pattern clean and take copies on transparent pattern paper if you want to make major design alterations. Here, just to show you how the fitted sleeve pattern fits the dress form. Notice the guidelines are straight. Make sure the sleeve insertions point on the sleeve match the sleeve insertion point on the dress. If it doesn't look straight like that, try to move it a bit back and forth to make it fall the right way. That's about it. Good luck with your sleeve. From this basic pattern, there are endless possibilities to create whatever you want. I hope this explanation and demonstration was helpful. If you don't want to rewatch the video over and over again, you can purchase and download a detailed step-by-step guide in the description below. If you are interested, I can also elaborate on design options, dart manipulations, and sewing techniques in later videos. Suggestions are also welcome. Let me know how your sleeve pattern turns out in the comments below. If you have any questions or experience any problems, don't hesitate to ask in the video comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like what I'm doing and want to make your own clothes, follow along and subscribe, comment, or consider hitting the like button. I will see you in my next video about how to construct the corset pattern. Bye for now.